And joining us from Lviv, Ukraine, CBN News senior international correspondent George Thomas. Putin today, George, declaring the separatist republics of Luhansk and Donetsk as independent states. We heard from Putin himself this afternoon. What did you make of his speech and this bold declaration?
Yeah, I got on the phone just moments before coming on the air to talk with a gentleman who is a philosopher, a philosophy professor, runs an NGO, and was pursuing another doctorate degree, but has decided to put that on hold and to take up arms. And he's joined thousands of others, basic laymen, civilians, who are getting ready to defend their nation. He told me tonight that, George, diplomacy has failed, and they are gearing up to protect their beloved country. This, in essence, according to one Ukrainian member of parliament, is an act of war because it goes beyond just what the Russian separatists currently hold. In essence, what Vladimir Putin said tonight is that the entire Donbas, Donetsk, Luhansk region are two independent states that belong to Russia.
George, President Putin, it appears, is putting forward what could be the false pretext for war. Another thing we heard today is there is a threat that Ukraine will try to retake Crimea. Is there any truth to that? And if they do, is there any way that they can possibly retake Crimea from Russia?
Okay, so John, just help me understand this. In 8 years, Ukraine basically did not face an army except for the thousands of, separatist troops on the east. Suddenly, they have 200,000 plus Russian forces surrounding their country. And so right now, Ukrainians are trying to retake Crimea. Are you kidding? That's a false narrative. Absolutely. Tonight, they said that there was an attack in the Donetsk region, very close to one of the headquarters of the separatist movement. Earlier today, they said that a tank allegedly belonging to the Ukrainians was blown up. Incidentally, it's all green. It's supposed to be February and it's wintertime. And the video is of green foliage. Clearly, we have seen over and over and over, and I've been telling you guys, this is part of the Russian playbook. They did it in Chechnya. They did it in Georgia in 2014. They did it again in 2018 in the eastern part of the country. And tonight they're doing it again, in essence, by declaring these two states as independent, sovereign, independent states. They're basically saying that we have every right to go in and to take that territory beyond the dotted line. I think the big question we're going to see is how is President Zelensky of Ukraine going to respond to what, in essence, is a grab of more land by the Ukrainians, even though they haven't done it yet. But I think everybody's going to wait to see how Zelensky responds.
Him and the rest of the world, will Putin be allowed to get away with this? The U.S. warning an invasion could be just hours away, George. If we do see that happen, are you expecting a full-scale invasion or more of a limited incursion?
Well, I think, most of the focus is going to be in the east, no doubt about it. You see the concentration of Russian forces. It's primarily there. I think there is some concern among military experts that most of the Ukrainian forces are also contained in the eastern part of the country. So I think that is of big concern. But I think we're looking at an incursion. My anticipation is at an incursion from the east, and then seeing how the Russian operation goes. Maybe Putin becomes a little bit more of a risk taker and heads for Kyiv.
George, I wonder, you're there on the ground. You've been there for a little time now. Does today's declaration at all change the mood of Ukrainians? They have seemed to be pretty united and defiant, those who are leaning towards the Western desire to become part of NATO, to become part of the European Union. Does this change the mood? Do they become more nervous of a real full-scale war on the verge of possibly happening?
Yeah, absolutely. This absolutely changes the calculus. I think up until now, there was a sense of denial. I think some of it also, you look at President Zelensky's tact in the last several months. He's being cool and composed. When he made that speech in Munich, Germany this weekend, he was, he came out defiant, in essence, telling the world that he, even if he doesn't get any help from the allies, that he is going to defend and the people of Ukraine are going to defend their sovereign territory. So clearly, things have dramatically escalated with the multiple ceasefire agreements that have basically been dislodged in the last 72 hours. Repeated attacks by the Russians. Things have dramatically escalated, and clearly, you get a sense by tonight's announcement that this puts Ukraine front and center in the eyes of the Kremlin, and the Ukrainians are, as I talked to the person today, they're gearing up.
Yeah. All right, George Thomas in Lviv, Ukraine for us this evening. George, thank you so much. Great reporting.
Thanks.